Hello, everyone. This is your new favorite host, Golden. Today on Chopping Up with Golden, I'm deciding to have a new segment called Open Book. The reason why I have this segment called Open Book, a lot of my followers have been asking for something a little bit more personal, a little bit more about me, more deep about me, things that they've seen throughout the years that I've just never addressed, and things like that they just want to get up close and personal with me. So when they do send me specific things that they want to know, if I am comfortable, I will be discussing them on here. And I will try to have Open Book Wednesdays with y'all and post them and share with you guys. And today I decided to pick the one that's about relationship. I feel that with my experience, I may be able to touch someone, help someone, just help someone that's going through this maybe right now, acknowledge something or ignite something, just maybe a realization on certain things. And at the same time, I think that maybe it will help me as well. So a lot of you may know or may not know, I was in a long relationship. I want to say 15 years, might be a little less. I stopped counting, when I checked out. So when people check out, they stop counting. But I think all in all, it was close to that. If it's not 15, it was pretty close to the 15. And a lot of people ask me, how did you sustain a long relationship like that? Like, I'm still young, so how did you have a long relationship like that? And how did you cope with it being ending? And how did it end? And things like that. There are certain things that I won't share because it's still my personal life. I still had a kid in that relationship, so therefore there's things that needs to be protected and nurtured and just kept personal. And this is not to bash the person I was with or anything like that. This is just really, a lot of people just ask, and I just never answer. So I want to say it was a good start, maybe. Well, it was a crazy start. I've always been the type of person that's loving and attached and motherly and things like that. So I think I attracted people that needed that kind of love. And I've always been a giver, and maybe not necessarily understanding that I need to receive as well. I just give. Even till this day, I give. But through this relationship, I've learned to set new boundaries and how to validate myself, like without needing someone to validate me and things like that. So in this relationship, I want to say the beginning was okay. And this is me looking in right now. In the moment, it was amazing. It was what I wanted, what I needed, and things like that. But now, years later, when I look at it, I have a different perspective. I feel like it started off wrong. And when I say started off wrong, when you are dating someone and their family don't like you, and that person does not, how can I say that, does not set a certain tone with the people around them, making it known. I'm not saying go against your parents. I'm not saying talk bad to your parents. That's definitely not what I'm saying. However, still make it a safe space for your partner's feelings and their respect and things like that. So I think it started off already on the path that this was not something that was done. My feelings were not protected. I was not protected at all in the sense of my respect and things like that. So it was very hard to have, in the beginning, again, you still have to understand while I'm explaining that at that moment it was fine. And when I say now it's not fine, or when I'm referring to the present, it's because I'm seeing that it was wrong. So the safe space was not created. And I realized that now that safe space was not created, that protection was not created, that respect wasn't created. I don't know if I said that, but that respect wasn't created. Whereas the opposite, I've always had the personality. I guess I was born like that, with we got to respect the people that surround us. We love the people that surround us. And even if, let's say I bring you around my family, even if they don't like you, we're not going to make you feel less than. We're not going to make you feel unloved. That's not our thing. When you leave, we're going to be like, I don't really like this boy for you, or I don't really like this girl for you, but you do what you want. But in their presence, we're not going to make them feel any type of way, because that's who you introduce us to. Like, that's really how my family does. However, that's not how it was on their side in that relationship. So I knew from day one that I wasn't welcome or loved and things like that. But I still rolled with it, because my mom always said, like, if you like somebody or love somebody, you gotta deal with their family. Like, you gotta accept everybody. You don't have to accept disrespect, but you still gotta love and deal with whoever is their family that's close to them and that's around them. So that was my thought process, and I just went with it. So regardless if I was being insulted or this or negative comments about me, I just had like a smile and was like, okay, that's fine. But when we got home, I would tell him, and I would expect for him to say something. And I guess, again, we were young, so I guess he probably didn't have the maturity or the knowledge of how he should approach the people that was that way towards me. And we just rolled with the punches, throughout the years. And then, we ended up having a kid. So they changed a little bit, but I want to say they changed because they knew that if you can be friendly to me, then you're not going to have my kid around you. Like that I'm still to this day very protective of. Anybody that don't like me, that can't speak to me properly, that can't do certain things around me, my kid is untouchable. And I even limit his post on social media. Like I was never the person that post his every move when he was a baby, or his first word, his first step. Even now, I still don't post like that. It's very rare, that I would post him. There's a lot of people that didn't even know that I had a kid. That's how private I try to keep it. Again, I do post it, but it's very, very rare. Maybe once, twice a year. It's if that. Sometimes a few years I don't post anything. So a lot of people don't even know the sex of my child, their age, things like that. So I try to keep as much private as I can. So that's why this subject, I felt, since a lot of people knew us, a lot of people are still asking questions. A lot of people still message me. A lot of people, right now we're separated. So some people may see him somewhere and message me and say, hey, I seen such and such somewhere. And I got to tell them like, hey, we're not together, so you don't have to tell me that. But it's still like a work in progress. And a lot of the questions were, how did I maintain this relationship? I maintain it because I feel that I've always been like a nurturing person and like wifey type thing. So I will always cook for you, clean, make sure your things are right, plan with you, like make sure that you're good, hold you down. So I think it became a comfortable thing. I think it became extremely comfortable, and also it created an attachment, because regardless of if there's love there or not, if you've been with somebody for so long, you get comfortable in their presence. You get comfortable in them just being next to you, or in the same house as you, or in the same surrounding as you. You just get comfortable regardless if the in love is no longer there. Love will always be there because we have kids, we have a child together. So I always have some type of love for you, some type of respect. But the in love was no longer there for a long time. But it caused an attachment and comfortability. So that's how it really lasted. And again, we had good times. We could crack jokes all day. Like, we got jokes. We're two funny people together. So that was cool. But when it came to the serious part, it wasn't there. A lot of people now ask me, why is it over? Like, damn, if you went through, even family members, damn, if you went through all of that, why now you still can't make it work? The reason I feel like I can't make it work, or I ended things, was because the separation, first of all, was abrupt. It's not something that was necessarily planned. And that's in terms of us physically not being together. In my heart, in my head, and he already knew that I was over it. I was detached. I was no longer, we weren't involved anymore. There was no kissing. There was no nothing. But we're still in the same presence, still same place, still same house. You sleep over there, I sleep over there, but we're still in the same presence. So the physical detachment is something that happened abruptly, unexpectedly. It just had to happen. And because of those circumstances, it made me, I want to say for the first time in my life, I understood what being depressed was. I mean, I understood a little bit later, but for the first time I went through that, for the first time I really had time in that whole 15 years, that was the first time that we were literally separated. Don't get me wrong. We've been a few weekends apart, or let's say I go on vacation for a week, he goes on vacation for a week. That happened. But completely separated, no communication, can't see each other, nothing. This is something that never happened in 10 plus years. So when it abruptly happened, it really affected me. I was like scared, very scared actually, scared to be alone, scared to be in the house by myself, but also to be alone, like me, the person, be alone and not have that person to cling on to. And like I said, that attachment was there. So that was something that was very hard. And then I was by myself for a whole summer, so without our kid. So I had just time for myself, no noise, no nothing, and just time to think. And I started thinking like, damn, why'd you accept this? Damn, why'd you tolerate that? Like, damn, why this? Why that? Why this? Why that? And a lot start coming up. Things that I had suppressed, things that I didn't think about, things that I didn't want to think about, or I thought I forgot, but all those feelings started coming, rushing back up. And I started to first, how they say when you're going through grief, you get angry, you go through the stages. I think this separation made me go through a lot of different stages as well. And I was able to take time for myself, reflect. Listen, guys, I did weeks without barely eating, didn't want to shower, didn't want to do anything. Like, I was just on the couch. I would get up at 8 and I would work a lot. When I say a lot, I would work from 8 in the morning or 7:30 in the morning until 11 p.m. So that's more than 12 hours of working. So I wake up from the couch, walk up to my little office that's maybe 2 feet from the couch. And then when I log out of everything, I walk back to the couch. I drank more juice than I ate food. I didn't watch TV. I didn't play music. And people that know me knows, like, I love listening to music. That's my thing, especially dancehall music, R&B music. So it just didn't do anything. It's just, I put an alarm to wake up to go to work. Logging off of everything, hit the couch. I didn't even have the energy to walk to my own bed. So it took a lot of time, and I'm not ashamed to say it because that was my reality, regardless of what people may think. I'm sure a lot of people have been through that before. I literally couldn't get up to do anything. So I remember my mom calling me on FaceTime, and she was like, let's say she called, just an example, she calls me on Monday. Hi, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm good, working. Things are good. I didn't really tell people my business. And then let's say she calls me on Thursday and she goes, wait, Golden, wasn't it the same shirt I saw on you Monday? And I'm like, oh yeah. And then I have nothing to say. She's like, that's kind of odd. And she gonna call me on Sunday and I still got the same shirt on. She's like, what you not telling me? There's something happening over there. I'm like, oh no, I'm good. I've just been super busy. I'm working, tired. She's like, yeah, but you got to shower too. Like, work, but shower, eat. Like, show me your fridge. Fridge is empty. Like, literally empty. As if like you just bought the fridge. Freezer empty, as if you literally just bought the fridge. And again, my son is not there. That's why I was able to do that. But when he was there, it was different. And when he was there, I mean, I would take care of him. I would make sure he has his food, he has everything that he needs. But me personally, I wasn't doing that. But again, what I wanted to say is like she was like, yo, something is wrong. And she calls one of my cousins and she's like, hey, aren't you supposed to go to your cousin soon? She was like, yeah. And my family's in a country and I'm in a different one, so we're not in the same place, right? Keep that in mind. She's like, okay, I'm gonna pay for your flight for you to go a little sooner because I think something's happening. Then my cousin just calls me from the airport. Hey, I'm at the airport. Can you come pick me up? I'm like, wait. What you mean you're at the airport? Can you come pick me up? That wasn't the plan. Then I gotta make sure I'm clean. So I gotta run, take a shower, fix up a little bit, throw away anything that was just laying around or just something, just fix it up. Then she comes, I go pick her up. She's like, damn, this girl's hair is not done, nails not done, toes not done. Something's off. And then come to the crib, like, she can't find what's wrong with the house because I quickly fixed it. I mean, it wasn't really that much of a mess because I wasn't doing anything, but still you could tell the difference. It has no life to it. Like, it looks like dark, like there's nothing happening. And then first day, just crack jokes, things like that. Damn, you work a lot. Damn, you have all these computers, you do a lot of stuff, surface stuff. And then later, or a few days later, serious questions, or when she realized that I'm not in the mood to do anything, like I don't want to go out, I don't want to show her the city, like it's just ugh. And then we started having like conversations. She was like, yo, are you good? Your mom said this, that, you don't seem good. And then I slowly started opening up and saying stuff, and it was liberating at the same time, but it was like pain. It was like, damn, a lot of realization on things. And I was able to, realize that a lot was happening. And then when I realized that all of these things were unacceptable, like, damn, like you were, how can you say, I lost myself in that person. I was in their shadows. I stopped doing all the things that I like to do. I really like to write. I don't like to read, but I love to write. I could spend hours just writing. I love to draw. I love to color. I like to listen to music. I was into acting. I was into radio. Like, there were so many things that I was accomplishing, but slowly my light starting to dim and just turn off at one point. And I never realized it. People did tell me, I have this close friend, I don't know if she want me to say her name or not, but I have this close friend. I don't think she'll mind. I'll let her know before I post it. I have this close friend named Keys, and she would, while in this relationship, she would tell me all the time, oh, you have an attitude. Oh, you're so angry. You don't even say thank you. You're just so rough. You just pull stuff out of my hand. Or when you call, can you say, hi, babe, how you doing? Just like care a little bit. Like, you is just like, yeah, what do you want? And then, I didn't realize it until recently. I don't want to say this summer. And I've been separating from this person that I'm talking about for 3 years now, but it's this summer when I saw her and we were talking, like deep conversation, she's really a good friend, even like a sister. People say we look alike and we're sisters. I was like, you know what? I realized what you were saying when you were saying that I was so rough to you and things like that, because now I don't really tolerate certain ways that people talk to me, or when they loud or things like that. It just like ticks me off. Like it's a problem. I don't tolerate it. And she was like, yeah, I've been trying to tell you that, but you wasn't listening. And you have a whole business, and sometimes you're rough with your customers. Like, I was trying to tell you that you need to change, and you weren't listening. She was like, the same attitude that he had, you was having too. It was like reflecting on you. And again, it took me time to realize that until, new life, new things, new people, new partner, new everything. And you realize the difference. It was like, shit, I did tolerate a bunch of mess. But I digress. So it did take a lot for me to get over it. And get over it is a big word, because again, 10 plus years of your life with one person is a lot. You go through ups and downs, you go through personal stuff, you go through life events, you go through death, you go through loss of many things, gain of many things. So there's still a lot of history there. And what I've come to realize and accept and understand is that the person is not necessarily a bad human being. They're simply just not good for me. Did not know how to love me. Because when I look at them around other people, even as a father, excellent, no complaints. It's 1000, like, wow. But when it came to me per se, it was different. So I don't know. I don't remember the beginning. So I can't say in the beginning, oh, he was nice to me, and then 5 years later he started being mean to me. I can't say when the change happened. I just know that it did. And I remember that I used to say, oh, back in whatever year you used to be nice to me, you stopped loving me back in such and such year, because since then you changed. Is it accurate? I don't know, but I used to say that all the time. And when I just look back at certain things, I accepted a lot, and I don't know necessarily why I accepted it. And those people that want to say daddy issues, no, dad was in my life since I was born till this day. Mom in life, big family. That's not it. It's something else, and I still can't pinpoint. But it was something that was very, very hard and traumatic. A big separation like that and having to start over. And I had always said, oh my God, I don't want to start over. Now I have to explain to somebody why I think like that, why I do this, why I act like that, why I don't do this, why I don't drink, why I don't smoke, why I don't really like to party like that, why I have limited friends, like starting all over, explaining everything. And on top of that, I have a kid, so I have to make sure that that child is protected by any means necessary. So to me, all that was very, very hard. So that's why I didn't let it go earlier, because I did not want these things to happen. But again, when it happened abruptly, I had time for myself. I had to realize my worth again, what I want, what I needed, what was best for me. And all these things, again, happened with having conversations with my cousin when she came. But it also happened by just me deciding on a when you do New Year's resolution, I decided to be different. People make resolution, oh, I'm going to go to the gym, stop eating fast food, blah, blah, blah. Mine was really, I want to smile more. I want to be more kind. I want to stop blocking people in the sense of, I always have a mean mug. So I already stop you from speaking to me just by looking at you. You already know not to come more than 6 feet from me just by my face. So I wanted to change that. I wanted to be more open, more smiley, more caring, more gentle. And I felt like by making that change, I would open the door to let more things come in, either blessings, people, just let better things come towards me. And I feel like that did happen. And also I had a coworker, I won't name him, but had a coworker which was super kind. Like, when you speak to somebody and you're like, damn, that's how you would treat your girlfriend. Damn, that's how you would do for your wife. Wow, that's so amazing. Wow. And I was like almost crushing on him, because I was like, shit, that's what I want. I want somebody to talk to me like that. I want somebody to blast it everywhere that they love me, or that I'm important to them, take me out. And he was just explaining things in his life to me, and we just became very good friends and close friends. And I felt comfortable opening up to him. Not a lot, because I'm a person I know everybody's business. I help everybody, but I don't talk about my life, because I always feel like I can't trust them. People can trust me, but I can't trust them. And the day that me and you's friendship is over, you're going to talk about my business. So that's why I just keep mine to myself. And I know me, that I'm not going to talk about your business. So that's why everybody just tells me everything. So that's why I'm closed like that. But he really made it like a safe space, and I was able to literally like express little things. And he would give me suggestions. You know, he's a father as well. He would give me suggestions. Hey, I know you're going through some stuff, but you can't just work. You have to do different type of activities with your kid, or put him in sport, or, you know, just little things that I was missing. My son is well taken care of. He has everything. But since I was in my own small depression, there's things that I lacked or was not applying or was not doing that I should do. And also we have to remember that the father was there and that separation was abrupt. So things that the father used to do, all of a sudden overnight, I had to change. And when I say overnight, I literally mean overnight. So these are things that I wasn't prepared for, because again, it's abrupt and unexpected and not supposed to happen. So that was that. And then, you know, he showed me different things, explained things to me. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I deserve so much better. Like, I was already detached from the person, not interested in hugging them, kissing them, having anything personal with them. But having them in my presence was a security blanket. And now I don't have that security blanket. I already was detached from them. So now, instead of me still holding on in hopes that that person might change or see things differently, let me break that and see what I want. What do I want to do? What's good for me? And slowly, I want to say a year and a half it took me to get out of this funk. I was like, yo, I got a few friends. Let me go out. Let me be, like I said, for that New Year's resolution, it was smile more, be nicer to people, you know, like open up, be just let people in. So I decided to do that. I have a friend since I moved here. I have three. No, I'm not. No, let me start over. I got 2 friends since I moved here. Never knew where I lived. I knew where they lived. I would bring them food, everything. They don't know where I live. Don't know what my house looked like. Don't know anything. So I was like, yo, I have a friend. She's single with her kid. Kids are close in age. I'm by myself. How come we don't just do something? So I was like, yo, you want to come over? And we try to do it every weekend, every other weekend. Come over, our kids play together, and me and her just hang out and just talk about life, things that we want to accomplish, things that we want to do, and just build like that. So that was also helpful, having that friend around. And then one day she was like, yo, you've been breaking up from this man, and we've been telling you he's mean to you and things like that. So I think you should maybe start dating. And I was like, ugh, dating. That means I have to go outside. Ugh. Dating. That means I got to talk to people. Ugh. And she was like, okay, we got to start somewhere. Unless you want your husband to be the FedEx guy. Because FedEx do come to your crib. So unless you want him to be your husband, then I guess you're not going to do nothing. And then she convinced me. We got dressed. We went out. And I was like, oh, damn. I have never seen this club. Oh, damn. I have never seen this lounge. We started doing it. And then I was like, ugh, I don't want to talk to people outside. Like, it's just odd. She was like, okay, fine. Let's do dating apps. Did the dating app. And I'm going to tell y'all that on another episode. Let's go back to this relationship. This relationship was, again, somebody very good, but just not for me. So when I decided to let that go, I was able to free myself, was able to understand things about myself, set boundaries for myself, rules for the future person that's going to be with me. Just do things completely differently. So was I in it? Although I was disconnected, was I in it for the right reasons? Partially yes, partially no. Because again, I didn't want to be a statistic. I didn't want to be a baby mama. I didn't want to be a single mom. I didn't want to have to deal with none of these things. Like, my goal was, it's me, you, and our kid, and we're 3 soldiers. We're riding out, and we're gonna make it through. That was really my mentality, and that's how I rode till the end, you know. But again, life circumstances made things different. And it made me learn about myself, my character, my wants, my needs. So although it was very, very difficult to let go, I think it was something that was needed. There's things that I've accomplished in 1 year versus being 10 plus years with that person. You know, I've seen a quote that said, sometimes you're blocking your blessings just by having the wrong people around you. Something to that effect. And when I tell you, when I removed that person from me, so many things came to me. When I really decided to change my ways, like my attitude, the way I talk to people. Like, I'm not the prettiest girl, but I'm not ugly. I'm not the finest girl, but I'm okay. You know what I mean? So I would get people in my DMs, but I would just cuss them out, like block them and diss them. And I was like, nah, I can't do that. That's not nice. Change that. So when I really took that resolution and focused and make sure that I wasn't going to do it, even yelling, I had decided that I wasn't going to yell anymore. Like, I really wanted to change my ways. When I did those things, I realized, damn, I should have done that a long time ago. Damn, such and such been wanting to speak to me. I could have been on this show. I could have been doing that. I could have been on TV there. But I was so close. People didn't want to approach me. So I was able to learn a lot. There's so much that I can say, but that was the main question. How did you deal with how did you sustain a long relationship, and how did you deal with the breakup? Sustain because I had to, and I wanted to, and I had hopes, and it ended abruptly. But there's life lessons behind everything, and I think I'm still learning some life lessons. I still think that there's more that I will learn eventually when experiences and I correlate things and link things together, like, that was something that I didn't like, or I liked, or I don't need. I think that's just going to be something that's going to be gradual. But for the most part, I think that I did learn a lot from it. Is there regrets? Yes and no. I think that if you live in regret and the whys and the oh my god and what ifs, then you don't move along. But when I say there's regrets in the sense of I should have never accepted those type of infidelities. I should have never accepted certain types of disrespect. But again, if I didn't accept them, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And I always tell people, heartbreak is the worst pain that you could feel. Like, even, I don't know, my tattoo artist be telling me, how you stay in a 3-hour session without no break? You don't need no water, no nothing. And I be telling them, heartbreak hurts more than this. Like, I was so cold, like so detached. And I tell them, I kept on repeating the same thing. Heartbreak hurts more than this. Another tattoo and another from another tattoo artist that's in a spot that hurts. Wait, it doesn't hurt? You don't want to break? Nah, heartbreak hurts more than that. So I was able to, again, learn so much, do things differently. Now I do move differently, think differently, navigate differently, things that I already know in next relationship that I won't tolerate. And it sucks for the next person because that person might not even be able to do one mistake, and I'm already gonna rah or be upset or assume, or and also throughout the next relationship that I had, I realized slowly, not every day, the person might tell me or I say it or realize it after, but that relationship that I stayed in for so long caused a lot of trauma, a lot of doubt, a lot of broken trust. So now it's hard to trust the next person that's actually trying to do good or do the right thing, and sometimes that relationship, since it's still something relatively recent, it's not recent, but anyway, there's still things that are unsaid or unforgiven or unspoken about. And now when it translates to the new relationship, you don't want to deal with it, or you already assume that you're going to do the same thing. For example, in my mind, if I gave the person that I spent 10 plus years with my whole trust and that person broke it, How can I go and trust the next person that I just met for a few months? How can I trust you? Because you don't know me like this person know me, and that person broke my trust multiple times. So these are all, it's still a work in progress is what I'm trying to say. There's still things that, although we're not together anymore, that relationship still affects my life day to day. Is it things that I need to work on? For sure. It's going to take time. So anybody that's been through the same thing, I want to say, just know that it takes time, and you really have to heal and take time for yourself and know what you need and what you want and your boundaries. You just have to make sure that you have taken the time to figure out what you want and what you need. And if therapy is your thing, you should, because I definitely had to go through it, because at a certain point when I was going through that process, those stages that I was saying, there's one point it was just angry, wanted to break everything. How could you do this to me? How can I allow myself to accept these things? Oh my God, I don't know my worth. And you're realizing, and again, when you're speaking about these things, other things come up that you forgot. Damn, you cheated on me while I was pregnant. Damn, you cheated on me with this. Damn, you did that. You cheated on me after pregnancy, while pregnancy, before pregnant. Things that you suppressed that are now coming back up, and that just hurts you. But I thought that I moved past it because I continued that relationship, right? But I didn't move past it because these things still hurt. Because you gave that person your full heart and willingness and it was something. But to conclude, and if you guys want more, I could do more, but to conclude, what I want to say to anybody that is going through it, might have or might be in it right now, is just take time for yourself. Don't lose yourself. And if you lost yourself, try to find yourself. Find whatever you like. Go back to what you like. What was your bubbly self before that person? What did you like to do before that person? And again, I will never tell a person not to try to fight for their relationship. But also, when a person shows you who they are, you have to realize who they are. That person showed me early on who they were, but I was either too young, too dumb to understand, not mature enough to understand. But when we were talking about regrets, what I regret is that I didn't realize it sooner. I don't regret the relationship. I don't regret the kid, but I wish that I would realize that sooner. That way I would have been able to change my life around sooner. I would have been able to accomplish different things sooner. But again, if that would have happened sooner, I probably would not be in the place that I am today. So partially regret, partially no regrets. So if you're going through that right now, what I want to say is find yourself, take time for yourself. If you need to go through therapy, go through therapy, and know that where you are today is not where you're going to be tomorrow. And to make sure that you figure out what's good for you. Make sure that you figure out what you need, what makes you happy. And when you're able to figure that out, everything will open and change. Your eyes will open, your mind will open, your heart will open, and you'll be able to make the right decision and the right choices for your life. So this was Open Book, episode 1 or chapter 1. If you guys want more details, more elaborations, I can. I tried to be a little bit vague, but still explain things that did occur. So I will come back next Wednesday with chapter 2, based on a topic that will be sent to me or a question that will be sent to me. So until next Wednesday, I hope you guys have a good week, plenty of love, and see y'all soon.